Hello everybody, welcome to Robert's train set, and yeah, more ballasting I'm afraid, but some other bits as well. So continuing on from the last update, more ballasting, but before I do that I need to put some of these in, and that's what they came like. So I painted them up black. I looked online and they do seem to be black. Did I try and put the colour of the lens in? Not a chance. You hardly see them. So this one's been stuck with super glue, because obviously it might get covered in wet, mightn't it? So there they are, they're not too bad. So I've got a few around, and there's another one there. And basically they're to mark the centre of the uncoupler, as you can see. Now this one we can obviously see it very easily, but that one not so easy, is it? So yeah, works. So I got these from Rusty Rails, and they weren't on a sprue, they were all sort of loose, as you can see, and I just sort of placed them where I thought they should go, and then it was a bit of a case of painting them really. And I found that they should be black, so I stuck them with a bit of black tack on the end of a bit of sleeve to paint them, because they're tiny. But being acrylic, they didn't take very long to dry, but I put them in these clips just to hold them until they did. So this was my black paint, but I didn't want to waste it, so I added some white, because I thought it might look a bit like, i.e. like this, and I thought it might be worth painting the roof of the signal box, the new one, in inverted commas. Still not fixed or anything, but I just thought while I got the paint, why not do it? Now I might try and highlight the tiles on this, we'll have to have a look, but I'll let it dry really well first. And what I'm planning on ballasting now is, I think, maybe up to the bridge and the runaround. So just to run around, obviously all the points and the bit up the end. Now I've got the coal bunkers up there. Will they stay there? And I'm not sure yet, we'll see. But you can see the ground signals sitting there. And I've done a lot of them because the whole of this area will be used for shunting at some stage. So I thought it would have the signals. Now please don't comment about they're not in the right place, and yeah, they're the wrong ones, and yeah, I'm sure they are, but they're there for a purpose, and that is so that I know where the uncouplers are. And they're technically sort of where you are. Two workmen still digging this hole in the road. You notice all the people have gone if you saw them before, so I've actually got some more. I'll put them back on the platform for the time being. They're not glued, they're usually held up with black tack, or they're sitting on a bit of plastic, but yeah, gives it a bit more life, doesn't it? But obviously I've still got the canopies and everything to do here, and I can't do over there because that's where the unloading shed will be going, so I need to build that first to see what's what, I think. So this is my fill yard, but I am going to scenic it a bit, and of course I've got the forest and the grass, and I thought I needed something here, so I had some Hornby fencing over, so I put that round. What do you think? Painted this with the acrylic white, brushed it, I didn't spray it, brushed it, and it's meant to look a little bit weathered, so we say. And I even put a gate, made a gate up and put that in, so it sort of sets it off a bit. So where have I got to with the ballasting? Well, I've moved the bridge out off of its supports, and I've done all this lot. Now I've done all this in just the grey, and it's still wet as you can see, with a few bits of black, but not a lot. I'm going to probably colour this with a wash or something, I think. But yeah, it's coming along well, and I'm getting the hang a bit more of the points. And I took a lot longer to get this to, be neat and tidy, I think. But yeah, so a few photos of it. What do you think? You look all right? There's still a bits I can see, but I'll be able to clip them off hopefully. But this was really wet. Now, how long this lot's going to take to dry, I have no idea, because it's really turned quite cold. And as you can see, I've put quite a bit of food. I've learnt my lesson and sort of looked through, but you know, it's coming along. I've got the old ground signal there. So this one doesn't actually have an uncoupler by it, but you know, I thought you'd want one there. So I'm going to put some fencing along here, and perhaps you have a bit of pavement and a bit of road. So I found this, but I haven't got enough. Here we have the remainder of the ground signals that I've painted up again. But this is not all of them, and if we pass over the bridge, I've put some in the fiddle yard, as you can see. Now you might be wondering why I haven't got any on these two tracks. And what I've decided to do, as I am going to scenic it slightly this, I've decided that these two tracks will be the live or the main line out of the town or the station, and I might try and get some sort of bit of picture here to make it look as though they continue. So I've got the ground signals on these sidings because they're sidings, as is the one on this side. So that's what I've done. Now also I've got the fencing in, haven't I, as a barrier, and you might think that if trucks and that are going to be left on these sidings for a period of time, that you'd want more secure fencing. Well, that would probably be true, but the wood is privately owned from a big estate and nobody goes into it. It's not open to the public, so they felt that this sort of fencing would be enough to keep any, you know, biggish animals out. So that's the story for that. We all like our little stories, don't we? So actually it went off quite quickly. I was surprised. It was dry enough to sort of touch and whatever by the end of the day. So I thought that was pretty good. I thought it would take a lot longer than that. And as you can see, yeah, it's done. Nice and solid. Feels alright. Good glass paper actually. And yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. So as I said before, we can't do there because of the unloading. And here by the engine shed, I think I'm going to extend the hard standing out here a bit. So until I've done that, I don't want to do any. And I've not decided yet what to do here. You know, maybe a bit of hard standing along there, don't know. We'll see. You might notice that the workmen have now moved their hole, and it's where the signal box was. And unbelievably, that one wouldn't fit. And the £2.50 one wouldn't fit. So I'm going to put this one here, I think. Hopefully with the windows at that end you can see through the bridge, which is ideal. And you've also got obviously a very good view of the rest of it. So I'm going to think I'll put it there. Probably with a tree here somewhere. So I hope you remember these. They were the magnets that I put in the track and on the wagons. And I had an idea. I had about 10 or so over, something like that. No, a few less than that. But I thought, why not convert a few of the NEM pocket couplings to the same system? So that's what I've done. So I've got two of the large Ds, a medium D, and two of the small Ds, because I thought they might come in handy. I've actually got another large D on this Bachmann yard van, so they might come in useful. So out of my original 50 magnets, I've now got 2 left, so I'll keep them in case I want one somewhere else in the track perhaps. So I think to finish this video, a little bit on the Bachmann Class 31, that if you remember I had trouble, didn't I, with it stalling a bit, which for a locomotive this size is bad, as I will demonstrate at the end of here with my little Hawthorne Leslie. You know, this is an 040. You would expect this to have more trouble than a big diesel locomotive with multiple pickups. Now interestingly, it only has pickups to the 2 wheels on each bogie and not all 3, which I find very strange. As you can see here, it only goes to the 2 outside axles. The middle one isn't a thing, and they were just not hitting it all the time, you know. Very bad. And with help from Andy from Hot Dog Andy, who does a Sunday live at 1 o'clock, quite interesting. He has some interesting trains, I must say. He thought it might be the pickups. Now on this brand new model from the manufacturer, you shouldn't expect that to be the case, but yes it was. And I had to disassemble one of the bogies to get them to bend out to contact the wheels at all times, which it wasn't doing. But now fixed, as I shall show. And I think it would be worth showing the Leslie as well running. This is a locomotive, as I said, with 040. No stay alive. It's running over Hornby standard points. And it runs very well. I won't say it doesn't occasionally stop, but I think we can say that to all of our locos sometimes. But it's pretty good, a lot better than you would expect. So I thought, to be fair, I should actually show the Class 31 doing what it did before, because that was all the movements of the bogies which probably didn't let it sit properly. So let's just follow this up into the station. I won't show all the running around, but I will do it, but it won't be on camera. And let's see how it performs, shall we? Here we are, the 31 has done all its running around. It's actually got a longer, heavier train than it did before, because I've got 3 carriages on this, as you notice. And let's see how it performs. It'll reverse up into the carriages, and it didn't couple up properly, not really, because I've still got a long coupler on it, but it did work. So interestingly, the function number does the guard whistle and the hoot in reply, which is pretty good. So a nice slow departure. If it's going to stall, it's probably going to stall on this, because it's right on the points, isn't it? So I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I'm not saying it would never ever stall, and I might need to do the other bogie, I don't know, but I'm happy it's working a lot better. I actually discovered this by accident, but if I run the automatic uncoupler over the magnets, it works. So let's bring in the Hawthorne Leslie, and it's got a fairly heavy load. of Network Rail wagons, 3 of them, and these are the ones that I've redone the loads in. We'll see how it goes. And I must admit, it did stop from time to time, but let's have a look. So as you can see, it's got quite a few points to negotiate here to get into the platform. Did it go really swimmingly well? Well, no, I'll show you some of the times it didn't quite make the grade, but you know, these are Hornby standard points, you know, insulated, so great big bits of plastic for it to run over, so I think it's doing very well. So the NEM pockets I put the magnets on, I put one on the end of this wagon, and does it work? Yeah, there it is. Super. And I went a little bit too far, but luckily it didn't drop right down, so we pulled away and we did a run around. So how did this go? So yeah, great. But this was the second time I did it, so I'll show you now the first time I did it, and it's weird. Now all you need to do is to clean the track really well. I cleaned the wheels again, and if you saw my hand there, I was pushing the point right up tight, because obviously I've got push rods on me points. So let's see how this one goes, and yeah, it didn't do quite so well. So it's really strange how, you know, it can do it sometimes and not. So as I said, with a good clean, yeah, it did it. But the only way you can be absolutely sure, of course, is to get a stay alive in it, which I may well do. We'll see how we go. But I'm happy with this, I must admit. And there again, you see. But this time it just needed a little touch, and off it went. So it is strange. It could be lots of different things doing it, you know, lots of different things. Now, if you're wondering why I had the sound on these logos, it's because they use more power and they need more power to do that. So you can run these with the sound off and they'll run over track no problem, but as soon as you put the sound on, they'll stall. So, and especially in the 31 with the fan going as well, of course, that doesn't help. So this little Hawthorne Leslie has done absolutely remarkably, I think. You know, there's no live frogs or anything to help it. It's, you know, it's a hard graft to use these points and do what it's doing. So yeah, pretty happy really. Comments would be welcome. What do you think? You know. Now, what I will say is that this is all achieved to a certain extent with certain things that you do. So yes, cleaning the track, but also I've got droppers to every bit of track and to the points. You know. So, and as you can see, they didn't couple up. They don't like curves, do they? These couplings. So let's see how she does with the load behind her going this way instead of the other way. Hopefully it will be as good as when she just came to couple up. So it's all going so well, so why did we stop? I don't think she likes curved points, to be honest. It's an even longer bit of insulated plastic, isn't it? So here I think the stay alive would probably be needed every time. But I don't have to take her over these curved points. I've only got this one on, so yeah, I'm happy, to be honest. So at this point, at the end of the video, I'd like to thank all my subscribers. I've managed to get to 1,500 subscribers, so thank you very, very much indeed. And hopefully you've got to the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Comments, likes, welcome. So in the next video, more on this building the end to end. What will I do next?